You don't think that?
What?
You said you never felt that way?
No.
No. All right, it's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. I maybe took my biggest L of all time the other day.
What was that?
And that's obviously saying a lot. Got many, many L's to my resume.
Well, you got a college basketball team to root for now. That's good.
I got a great college basketball team to root for now. Have you seen? Huh?
What's that?
Well, the Nova Knicks.
Oh, the Nova Knicks.
Yeah. I mean, that clip of Stephen A. Smith going, Villanova doesn't have one NBA prospect on their team. You're wrong there. Dude, that team, we'll talk about my L in a second, but that team is going to be a very good team. But more importantly, that might actually, truly, genuinely be the team with the most chemistry in the history of sports.
Probably.
And it might be, like, obviously you have to win. Nothing else matters. But if they are good and they're winning, might be one of the most fun teams to ever root for. The fact that there's 4 dudes who are all like best friends who won in college and now somehow, some way find their way onto a professional team together, and it happens to be the Knicks.
Are all 4 starters?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
no, Dante
DiVincenzo
DiVincenzo is like off the bench three, like a sniper. But Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson have a podcast together, and they were saying that Mikal Bridges is like the Squidward meme when he's looking through the window.
Yeah.
And they're playing, and like a week later he's on the team. I mean, Mikal Bridges was like, I want to be on the Knicks, and it was like, you're on the Knicks. The NBA is crazy like that. You just pick, tell your agent. They go out there and flex the leverage, and it just like happens.
It's crazy. And they all, like, obviously, like you said, the chemistry, but like Julius Randle and Josh Hart and DiVincenzo all just seem like clowns and like goofballs.
Yeah.
But like you can tell by just the podcast that Mikal Bridges is the leader of like the goofballs.
Yeah,
like,
he's like the squad.
He's the
like,
one.
Yeah.
He's making the plans. He's making the jokes, and now you just got the leader. So.
It's people are making the Infinity Stone jokes, but it certainly feels that way. I feel like we almost need like Jay Wright to be like a assistant coach or something.
Yeah.
Have Tibbs bring in Jay Wright and just finish this whole fucking thing off. So it'll be very, very fun to root for.
This clip right here is so funny. I saw it this morning. Like Julius Randle, when the Nova boys start reminiscing, is just trying to get in on the joke.
That's funny. That's funny, man. That's funny. I mean, that it truly is one of the craziest things that's happened in sports, where it's like that's the sort of shit you joke about with your buddies. And it was already crazy enough that there was 3 of them, and then they added a 4th who's, like you said, maybe the leader of the bunch. So
it surpassed seemingly. I think it was super underreported or under talked about. Maybe I'm not in the right circles, but that 2 childhood friends just won the championship, and that's 2 versus 4.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But like the fact that Kachuk and Jason Tatum are like best, and both the leaders of their team, not just both on the team, both the leaders of their team.
Right.
That's fucking insane.
Well, I also think, I mean, how long did they knew each other? Like childhood? Like from way back? Yeah, that's
like
really
they're
crazy.
on like
that's
I
really
would say
crazy.
Middle school bus together. It
That's
looks like
nuts.
there's like one picture of them on a bus, but there's like they used to be like working group projects together. Like now Kachuk's a little different in the sense that his dad was an NHL player too, so it's kind of not as much a surprise.
Right.
But it's still crazy.
Imagine just being like, like that is the shit. You sit on the bus and you're like, man, maybe one day, maybe we'll be professional athletes, man. Everybody does that, and these fucking guys did it, and that's wild. What a weird pairing too, though.
Yeah.
That actually makes perfect sense for Jason Tatum, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
I don't know what Jason Tatum's upbringing was like. I mean, I imagine, again, Kachuk's dad was a fantastic, I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer, but a really, really good hockey player. So I imagine he went to a good school.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Is Keith Kachuk a Hall of Famer?
I'm sure Jason Tatum wanted to be a hockey player. Seems to fit him better. So this was, you know how like all of our, at Barstool, all of like your wins and losses are not actually like you. It's like the teams you root for, or like it has like nothing to do with you actually.
Keith Kachuk is one of, only 4 players who have scored 500 goals and are not in the Hall of Fame.
Who else?
There are 47 NHL players scored 500 goals. Kachuk is one of 4 who did not make the Hall of Fame.
Who was the other 2? Other 4? Other 3?
I do not know that.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That seems like it should be an automatic. So I was saying, you know how like a win or a loss at Barstool is never anything you actually do. It's like
Yeah.
what your teams do, or what your favorite music artist does, or
That
whatever.
was a really funny thing being in Chicago after the Celtics won. Like the next day in the office, people kept telling me congratulations. And I was like, what are you talking? Like the first 3 times, I was like, for what? And I kept thinking, I was like, there's no way they're all saying congratulations.
Although I will say, I mean, the parade recap that I got from Dave on the rundown, it's like they're a part of the team.
Yeah. But that's them. That I got.
That's
like,
not,
I didn't even know they were talking about the Celtics.
That did we talk about the that quote from Missoula to Dave?
Missoula seems
so.
like
Dave said to Missoula, like, Missoula was like, come on my duck boat, come to my after party. And Dave was like, oh, wow, I didn't even know, like, you knew who I was. Like, we've never talked. You never replied to anything, DM'd. And he said, I hadn't earned the right to talk to you yet.
which is insane.
And I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
But, like, he's a 35-year-old from Rhode Island. So he grew up with
idolizes
Barstool,
Dave.
and
Yeah.
he probably felt like I need to
win a banner before I can talk to Dave.
He's also a
fucking madness. Dude, it's madness. It's like, what planet are we on? You're the coach of the Boston Celtics and you just won a championship, and the biggest thing of the day is that you get to talk to Dave? It's insanity.
But he also seems like a very unique guy. Like Gaz quote tweeted something yesterday and said that Missoula was talking to him and was asking about Barstool and trying to figure out whatever. And Gaz like, yeah, you should talk to Dave about it. Like, it's a great story. And Missoula replied, yeah, but your story is different than Dave's. And I was like, that's the coolest guy alive. That's a really cool, interesting. Like,
yeah,
that's
like I
the
want to know
fucking
you.
man.
Yeah. He also said he studied Dave or something like that.
Yeah.
when he was at West Virginia, Dave did like an event with Bob Huggins, and he was on the team, and he like said he like started taking notes about Dave. It was like,
but I think he does that with everybody.
yeah, he's just a psycho.
I
Yeah.
saw one of the Red Sox beat guys because I don't know if it was after the parade, maybe the day after the parade. The whole team went to the Sox game, and one of the beat guys was sitting around the team, or maybe I don't know how he heard this quote, but he heard it.
Yeah.
And Jaylen Brown, I believe it was, said something like, "This is great, but Missoula's going to pick up something from this, and we're going to be doing shortstop training drills like next year."
Yo, by the way, I have a new idea. You know how like if you're a relief pitcher and you come in and there's runners on base,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, it's kind of the reverse of this idea. The pitcher who put the runners on base, it counts against their ERA. I think that like the GM who builds the team should literally be credited with the championship.
I get
Within like a certain amount of time period, or like, I mean, I guess it's hard because like this guy made more like other moves like Porzingis and all that shit. So like, but people are like, this is Brad Smith's team, and they're giving him credit. But I think he should like literally get credit, like get a ring, be a part of like
Who?
For the Celtics.
Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the other. I thought you were going to say it's Danny Ainge's team. But
Well,
I
so,
actually think it's like
yeah.
kind of the perfect mix of both their teams. Like,
Well, right.
Danny
And I guess that's
Ainge
where you
got
run
the
into the
pillars.
problem where it's like you can't.
Right.
do
Danny
this,
Ainge got
but it's
Brown
like,
and Tatum, but then Brad Stevens went out
Yeah.
and got the guys that kind of pushed him over the edge with Drew Holiday, Derek White.
Yeah.
Who was the third one?
Yeah. So I guess you really can't.
Holiday.
I said Holiday and Derek White. There's
Holiday,
one other
Derek
one.
White.
They
For
should
the
get
other-
rings. They should get
Yeah.
rings.
Yeah.
Did you see?
I would imagine Danny Ainge will get a ring for this.
Somebody. Wait, what was it? Was it the Celtics? No, maybe one of the championship teams. Oh, I think the Chiefs maybe got 700 rings.
Yeah.
Given out to like if you were like
Yeah.
working concessions, you got a fucking ring. So these guys should get it too. But
I think it's stupid that like when you play the first half for a season, you get traded at the deadline, you still get a ring.
yeah,
That's
that's
stupid.
almost
Especially
the
if you
reverse of that.
underperformed.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like Nomar getting the 04 soccer.
yeah.
That is one of the most. That goes under the radar, kind of as like that's one of the most heartbreaking things.
Yeah. Orlando Cabrera was a monster.
He was awesome. Yeah,
He was great.
That's what's even worse. It's like, oh, you know, it's not even like It's not even like we got like what was that trade?
I kind of think it was like a 1-for-1.
Was it?
It wasn't a huge.
Because if it was like we got an ace pitcher, and he put him on their back, and like Nomar can be like, well, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, the guy that took my spot played like just as fucking good, right? Oh, that is brutal.
I forget if it was in the divisional series, the championship series, that he had like a monster home run.
Mm-hmm.
That it was kind of one of those like the JD Drew grand slam where you're like,
that's the one.
That's all it needed.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, back to my personal L, because this was one that this will like haunt me for the rest of my life. I have been fucking peacocking around town because I was the star pitcher of my son's little league team. I was trying to figure it out the other day. I got brought in relief for 2 innings. Then we played a 4-inning game and then a 3-inning game. So that's 9 innings, 10 kids. 9 innings, 10 kids. They all got a hit every at-bat, every game.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like 90 for my last 90 of getting kids hits, right? Like parents are talking about it. Kids are loving me. They're like, Mr. Clancy, can you pitch again? The parents love it because the innings are going fast. Because I kind of like throw it like a dart.
Yeah.
And it was just bam every time, right in the right spot. I was finding the right strike zone for every kid. We were fucking rolling, right? So we end on a great note. Season ends, and we hear there's a home run derby that Saturday. So we go to the home run derby. And it's at the big field, like the nice field. We've been playing on that shitty sand lot. We get like the nod. We get the call up to the real field, and they have the whole thing is like the real deal. They have announcers, walk up music, all that shit. And I was told that they just have like one guy pitching, and then we get there and we were told they're doing it by team. Like these 4 go, these 4 go, these 4 go, and so they were like, your coach or your team pitcher can pitch. So I was not ready to pitch, man. I was not, I didn't have my 5 days of rest. I threw the worst game of my life. I let those little kids down, man.
So you didn't get lit up then?
Yes.
Yeah,
I was throwing junk. I was hitting the corner. I was painting the corners. The plate was mine. I was dusting them off the plate. It was brutal. I was like, first of all, it was 800,000 degrees, and every other coach pitches underhand, and I pitch overhand. And
Throw Van Charlie.
Well, yeah, it was kind of like that. And like everybody got used to that, and they were hitting it. And then they also give you 5 swings, which goes pretty fucking quick if you're 6 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't even like 5 outs and like you could take pitches. It was like, we got to go. So I like the first couple of pitches are like high and outside. I told them like, don't swing if you don't like it. And then they were like, all the other coaches like pitch underhand, and I start pitching underhand, but they're not used to that. And I mean,
I can see you out there sweating.
Literally, like I asked each kid, I was like, do you want overhand or underhand? Like, I'll let you decide. I'll do it, And like on the mound, or not the mound, like 20 feet in front of the mound, like throwing the ball, and like they pop it up, and I'm like, I'm like demonstratively on the mound being like, fuck, God damn it, like I'm like grabbing the balls from the bucket, being like, come on, Kevin, come on, you're better than this. It was awful. I mean, and there was a couple kids who were just on the other teams who were very advanced and just like hitting bombs, out of the infield was for this. It was like if you hit the dirt of the infield, you get 2 points. If you hit the grass of the outfield, you get 3 points.
Yeah.
And so we only like as a team hit like a couple, and there was a few like close ones, but 4 6-year-old boys looking at you being disappointed that home run derby fucking sucked. I was like, this is the worst moment maybe of my life. I was like, and like all these kids, like Keegan was bummed about it, like for like 25 seconds.
Yeah.
And then we went home and played video games and jumped to the pool. All these other kids were like wrestling around in the field after it was done, like 2 seconds after. And I was like walking to my car, like, I'm never gonna forgive myself. I'm gonna think about this day for the rest of my life. It's been on my mind for like a couple weeks now. Just all I can think about. I'm like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? I should have adjusted. I should have.
Well, the
I
good
should have
news
brought
is
a catcher. I should have had.
you'll never be the worst childhood pitcher of all time. My T-ball coach submarine pitched to us. Dude, I've talked about this couple before.
What?
They were Debbie and Manny Fraze, North Park Little League, Fall River, Mass. They coached the team, the Devil Rays. They could not. Manny could not. He had a shoulder issue. Couldn't throw overhand, so he just submarined at us. You imagine learning baseball from a submarine pitcher.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
like Moneyball, like I forget the pitcher they got, but he's undervalued because he
Chad
throws
Bradford,
weird.
I think.
Yeah, I could have hit Chad Bradford because I fucking grew up on that bullshit.
That's so funny to get to like third grade or whatever grade after and be like, wait, what?
These guys
you
throw
guys throw overhand?
What the fuck is this?
Why you guys pitch so weird? It's like you jerking off wrong. You guys don't do it like this? What are you talking about? This is the right way, right? This is how I was taught.
This is what I instinctually did.
That might be, yeah, like your like evolution like gene might be off.
Yeah.
Like as a man, the fact that you were like legs up underneath, or maybe something that hole you're born with it.
my evolutionary gene is definitively off. Like because I hit puberty 10 years late. I'm like 10 years late on
When
every.
did you really hit puberty? Not 10 years late.
Like probably 1920.
Oh, that's pretty close to 10 years.
Yeah. Like I'm everything in
So
life.
weird because you're like,
I do 10 years late. Like
that's good though that we've pinpointed that.
yeah. No,
So
I'm
now
the
we
most,
can we can play off of this.
Yeah, I'm the most quantifiably retarded person ever.
The big QR. John's QR.
Everyone's like, he's a little slow. Like, I'm 10 years slow.
So in that regard, what are you going to be doing? So like when everybody's what do people do? Yeah, like people in their 30s are like settling down, having families, getting married, all that shit.
Probably 40s.
Probably 40s. People in their 40s. What do you do in your 40s? I don't know. This next decade for me looks like garbage.
Yeah.
40s sucks dick. You know what it is? It's just more of 30s. It's just like 30s extended. And let me tell you, 30s are not great. Like, because you're not old enough to like be like, I'm old but I'm having fun sort of thing. It's like you're still just in like grind mode.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But so when you're 10 years late on everything. It's a really funny thought. But you know what? Like, I think you're at your peak right now. Which I wouldn't say is 10 years late. But like, you know what it is? It takes you 10 years to get going.
Yeah.
You know, you're like a locomotive.
I'm a freight train.
Like 10 years in, you're
fucking
acting
Todd
and
still
you're
has time
modeling.
to get off the train.
What's that?
Fucking Todd still has time to get off the train. I've been rewatching Breaking Bad, so. By the way,
that's yeah.
I Breaking Bad I don't know if I never clocked it or just forgot about it. Breaking Bad, the whole series takes place in the span of a year. That's a little ridiculous.
I almost think it's not. Because I think it would be like, what? Oh, he got away with this for a decade? Like this guy who doesn't know what he's doing and just like stumbling his way through the drug trade?
Jesse becoming the second greatest meth cooker
Yeah,
in the world in a
silly.
year is
That's
like,
silly. Yeah.
Wait,
Going from like his character arc was a little silly of like stumbling, bumbling, complete like goofy, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
pants falling off, just like a complete wreck to being like the fucking like, you know.
6 months.
Yeah.
Not even.
Yeah, I mean they did show it like when, you know, Heisenberg was like, we're gonna cook.
Yeah.
Until it's perfect and all that shit.
It's
but-
not a real criticism because, despite saying that, every scene I watch, I'm like, this is fucking art, dude. Like it is.
Yeah, so fucking
perfect.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Anybody who tries to talk bad on Breaking Bad or say that it's not as good or Better Call Saul's better and all that shit, it's like, no, just stop it.
Yeah.
Just stop it. It's as advertised. So, well, I mean, this is, I guess, Bill Belichick is just, he does everything like 50 years too late. He's on his, in his single phase out there just fucking 24-year-olds as a 72-year-old
Which is
man.
23. The headlines have changed to 23 now.
Oh, wow. So we were giving him too much credit.
Yeah. But,
They lived together.
yeah.
That was the headline I saw today. That they live together and that they're like inseparable. Like they go everywhere together. Do you know how fucking gross that is? That part drives me the craziest. Like the couple that is like you never see them apart. And you guys do that with a fucking 50 whatever your age difference.
I think, though, I'm sure, and I know people are saying it's weird and it's creepy and all that stuff.
Yeah, they are, John. They are, yeah.
I think it is weird and creepy. I think she should not be allowed to do this.
She's the predator.
I think she is 100% the predator because her ex-boyfriend has come out and defended them. Her ex-boyfriend's 68 or something like that. Like, that's on you. That's
Wait, is that him?
yeah.
Wait.
Jared Zimmerman or
Hudson.
something like that. What is it?
Is it Jordan?
No,
Hudson?
she's
that's a
Jordan
girl.
Hudson.
It's like Josh Zimmerman or something like that.
That guy right
Yeah,
there with the
that's-
fat face?
That's her ex-boyfriend.
No.
Like, that is. Look,
This
I
woman-
hope,
this
I
woman-
hope Bill's happy. He deserves it. I hope he's in love, and I hope all that good stuff. I think if anyone's the predator here, it's the 23-year-old going after the
the old
geriatrics.
men. Yeah. Yeah, because you know these guys are just puttering around like 70-year-old men. You know Belichick is like, "Meh, meh, meh, meh," and she's like, I got you in my claws.
Like it's all this
click on
kind
that
of
one.
stuff.
I want to know about that guy. Yeah. Oh, the internet's not working.
all this kind of stuff is
64-year-old man.
like you get one,
Yes.
right? Like if you start dating one old guy, you get one.
Right.
It
Because that's where you go. It's something special. It like I wasn't looking for it, but it's just like amazing. The second you do it twice,
you're
You're a pervert.
you're kind of a pervert.
Yeah. This girl is a fucking pervert.
It's the same. Like
No, for real. This girl's a pervert. This girl's like a sexual deviant. She's a sexual deviant. A pretty girl like this wants these fucking guys? No.
It's like Josh Jackson, Charlie Conway, was married to a bald black woman, and like that's kind of cool. Like, oh shit, I didn't know Charlie Conway had it like that.
Yeah.
Then they got a divorce, and now he's dating Lupita Nyong'o. And you're like, all right, that's kind of weird now.
Yeah, you got a fetish. You got a fetish for bald black heads. You got a weird thing. That's a great observation.
Yeah. All right, Charlie, little fucking odd now, I think.
Let me tell you this much. This whole wise beyond her years, no one is 50 years wise beyond their years, okay? That means you're like, oh, I'm 23, but like, people think I'm like 30. Not I can relate to the 70-year-olds.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is he's 64. Like in a normal relationship, if you broke up and somebody started dating someone 8 years older than you, you'd kind of be like, oh, whoa. Like you're going after the older men, you know? But like you would think when a 60-something-year-old can say that, like, oh, so you're going after the older men, huh? That's fucking insane. He's never in a million years did this guy think that she would start dating someone older than him. I guess I shouldn't be too harsh on her because there's a million chicks that do this, but they are like full-blown gold diggers. They're like, take me to Dubai, put me on the payroll. When you're like in a relationship with them, pervert.
I hope she doesn't Yoko Ono Belichick getting Shula's record. I hope he doesn't like fall in love with all the free time. Go get that record, Bill. You earned it, bud.
Yeah, no, I think this is Belichick like never had a chink in the armor, and we found it, and it's little girls.
I think to a 23-year-old person, she can do whatever she wants.
No, because it's a sliding scale. It's a sliding scale. Like according to Bill Belichick, this girl is underage.
Bill's a young guy. Bill spends his whole life around 23-year-olds.
She's an old soul. You're young at heart.
Yeah, Bill knows all the lingo.
Yeah,
Bill,
he was hanging out with like Amendola and fucking
Yeah.
Edelman when they were fucking
Bill
chicks.
Belichick
He's
spends his time in
let
an
me get
NFL
on
locker
that.
room. That's 23 to 28-year-olds.
All of his peers are.
All the references he understands are from 23 to 28-year-olds.
Now you're on fire today. You're making a lot of good points. So when she comes home and she's like, did you see fucking Haktua girl? He's like,
"Yeah, I saw
the
it."
fellas were talking about it. Yeah, like it would be weird. Bill Belichick probably was so sick of what was her name, Linda,
Holiday.
talking about adult stuff. Fucking talking
Bill's like, I
about
just want to play
life
my
and
PS5, dude, with the boys. I want to fucking get on COD. Right? Is that what you call it, COD?
where the fellas dropping in, man. That's funny. Look at that. Dave Portnoy officially included in the backlash against Belichick. Yikes.
What?
Ew, wow.
That really must be a nightmare to, like, wonder what they like you for.
Disaster. Like that, I mean, if you have that thought like one time, for me, if that crept into my mind at all, I'd be like, it's over. It's over. Actually, I don't know. I say that.
Well, it's funny too because
Depends
as
on what-
guys, you grow up like like the fucking people have like posters like you get the money, then you get the
Yeah,
power, like,
yeah,
and then you get the money. Like, do they just like me for the money? It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
well, you've been saying your whole fucking life, dude.
That's the progression. Yeah, that's literally the steps you said you were gonna take.
Right.
I guess it depends on what you're doing. I could definitely see a scenario where you're like, yeah, I know you like me for the money, but I don't care.
Right.
But if it's different if you're like, I think it's
But it's the same thing that like hot women have, I'm sure, where it's like, do they just like, or anyone who has a defined like thing, where
But the
it's
thing
be it
about-
money or talent or
But I think your looks and like looks and sex and that sort of stuff are still like you, whereas like your money is like it's literally just like
but it's not you. Like what you look like isn't you.
kind of more so than your bank account number. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
true.
that's literally like if you could just take this number and put it over here on this guy, I would go there. You know, and it's like.
But if you take that face, put it on that guy, I go there.
But it could be like I like tall blondes, I like
Yeah,
short
yeah.
brunettes, I like this girl's better in bed than this girl, like things like that like are at least parts of a relationship, your looks and your chemistry, I don't know, all that sort of shit. Like your money is just, but I it depends on what you are looking for. I could see like I feel like if you're like 30 something, when people are supposed to still like you and like think you're attractive or be into you, and it's just for your money, I'd be like, that would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
That would like ruin me. When you're 70, 56, no, we just got it. When you're 50, 60, 70 years old, like, I think you'd be like, yeah, no, I know what I have to offer here,
Right.
and it's not, not my looks, it's not my whatever. But then I also think you reach a point where, wait, is that quote real? Mark Schlereth disgusted by pig Bill Belichick? Let's pump the brakes, pee pants, right? That's the guy who pissed his pants. Like, don't they call him Stink or something like that?
Yeah, his nickname is Steve.
I mean, that's a bit harsh from a fellow football guy. No, but I will say, not to be all high and mighty about it, like it is a little bit bizarre how much this one is kind of like laughed at as opposed to. I think it's because Bill Belichick has this air about him where it's like he's just such a weirdo, and people have always been like that. He's so the opposite of that.
Yeah.
That when it came out, it's more the shock value for like, it's not about like, people aren't talking about grooming and predatory stuff. It's just like, wait a minute, Belichick's
But where
like
does
hanging out.
grooming fucking end? You're 23. Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. Like,
I think it has to do. I think the more the age gap is there, the that matters more than the
yeah, but I mean,
age of consent and,
if
adulthood and all
if
that
you have
shit.
a history of dating older people, it's clearly just like your thing. I don't know. It is.
Yeah, like she's an adult woman who clearly has made her choice that like I prefer older men. Gotta respect that, right?
I mean, we all fucking did things we probably wish we didn't when we were 23. Maybe this will be what she's like, I was crazy when I dated Bill Belichick.
You know what? You know when somebody, you know when your friend's dating someone that is just awful for one reason or another, and you put up with it for like months, maybe even years, and then they break up and they come back to the pack.
Yeah.
And it's like of course you accept them back, but not before you like get your licks in, and you know, imagine like her coming back to the girl group, and it's like, hey Jordan, remember that time you dated Bill Belichick? You fucking weirdo, just roasting her incessantly.
So lit for everyone in the group.
What's that?
That's probably so nice for everyone in the group, like getting to be around Bill Belichick, money and people without having to date Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
You think though, like if she was like, we're going on Bill's yacht today, you'd be
like,
pumped, yeah.
I'd be stoked.
Yeah. But like, what if you have to talk to Bill Belichick and like put in, you know what I mean? Like,
I
what
don't
if you,
mind talking to Bill Belichick.
I think at 23, 24, I would have been like, fuck it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right now, I'm like, I don't want to go hang out with some old woman because you're fucking her.
and I guess Bill is way better than the other old guy.
Yeah.
The first old guy, the girls just called him the old guy. You
Well,
know?
is the old guy?
I'm sure he's
a
like
person.
I'm sure he's, you know, wealthy in like, you know, pharmaceutical, whatever, you know, some fucking whatever field he's in.
Yeah, if he
but,
can't
like,
provide
I don't
for
think-
the group, then
You know, it's like at least Bill Belichick is. You can put up a selfie with Bill Belichick and get likes.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that guy looks not so much. So I don't know. I went every which way on this one. You talked me into it, out of it, every which way around. But I it's funny that Mark Schlereth is the one that is like the harshest criticism.
Yeah.
You know, right? Like there hasn't been anybody coming out being like, this is like, you know, we need to stop this.
No.
Everyone was just kind of like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah, it's certainly abnormal. It is, which is
Bro,
a
it's-
tamer synonym for weird.
I don't know if it's like her or him. I'd imagine neither of them have like great PR because I don't think Bill like ever had like a PR team, right?
No.
He just does his own shit, and she, you know, she was like not allowed to legally have one probably for a long time. Their PR is terrible. Like you know, we met on a plane years earlier.
Well, but-
we should not be talking about anything before this part. You know what I mean?
But their PR is great in the sense that everyone doesn't care.
I guess so. I guess it's just crazy that they got away with. They bonded over homework. That is.
But you know what the weird
It's
thing
like,
about
you
that
know,
is she's a
oh,
cheerleader. She was a Patriots cheerleader. You hadn't met before the homework thing?
No, I think that they met on a plane.
That's
When she-
I
they met on a plane when she was like 20, 21, and she was doing homework, and that's.
But that's just a weird thing to me that you. I
And
guess
then-
there is separation between the cheerleading
I mean,
team and the
maybe it
football
was
team.
like on. Yeah, I mean,
Not that much separation if you ask Bill and Bob, but
clearly no separation. But like that's like being, you know, like we met at recess.
Yeah.
You know, like our we both like ice cream. But yeah, I guess at the end of the day, if the relationship's being like accepted,
yeah.
the PR is great. Maybe they have the best PR that they're like, lean into it. Let's say you met when you were 14. Don't worry about Mark Schlereth. What's the oldest you would go? Have we had this conversation before? Because you went on that date with that 70-year-old, right?
What?
Remember that? Remember 1 week she like, dated a homeless guy,
No.
and then like a 18-year-old, and then like a 50-year-old.
I remember the homeless guy. I don't remember the other two.
The homeless guy, I just partied.
He just
with
partied.
You went on a date.
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
That's
that's fine.
karaoke.
But remember that? There was like a young guy, a
Some-
homeless guy, and an old guy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The old guy, it was just like I hung out with him for a night too. It was like a no, but I
Did
didn't
you like
hook
meet,
up with him.
Did you
no.
just meet at a bar or did you meet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's not that weird either. I've hung out with old and weird people at bars.
Again. It's always you two.
I I've had nights where I was like, did we party? I mean, literally Friday night, like 6 nights ago. I danced with a 7-year-old woman the entire night, like hard, like,
Twirling and shit, like-
smacking my ass and shit. Like it wasn't for a song; it was for 3 hours.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah.
I would need to take breaks. She just kept dancing. she had very
Right.
yeah, a lot of
Granny Spry over there.
what's the word I'm thinking of? Virile. She was very
I mean, maybe that you get your
did-
you get your second win.
And we
you know?
didn't. And neither she didn't speak English. I didn't speak French. Like it was just body. we communicated through our body language. Jackie, your story?
Wait. Back it up. This sounds.
She's kind of hot. She looked like Mrs. Claus.
Mrs. Claus is hot. What do you think Mrs. Claus looks like?
I don't know. There's separate statements.
Well,
She was kind of hot. She also looked like Mrs. Claus.
This sounds like.
Wait, no, Jackie. What about the kid?
No.
Please stop backing me up.
This sounds like you know. This sounds like when you're like an old man, you tell the story one day of when you had your like sexual awakening with this woman in France. You know what I mean? Like, and then I met her and she, you know, she loved me in a way that I never knew possible.
She could fucking move, dude. She could move. I would honestly keep taking breaks because I was so tired, and she'd just keep dancing. I'd get jealous because she'd start dancing with someone else. Like, all right, get back out there. That's my woman. Oh man,
How was she? She a good kisser?
there was no kissing. But
Were you getting handsy with her?
we were feeling each other's bodies. Yeah,
You were getting like hands on hips.
not hands on hips. No, I mean it was more
Sir?
party
Sir?
rock. No. It was more party rocking.
Did you
but-
slow dance with her?
No, they didn't play any slow songs. I probably would have, but it was like when she was smacking my ass, it was me like making a show, turning to the table. and her- It was sick, dude.
It was sick.
It was but Friday night in France was summer solstice, and I did not know that the French really celebrate that. I actually think it's really cool, where they stay up as late as they can and party as late as they can to celebrate the longest night of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were in this little town, Auch, in France, and it was like the entire town came to the town square. They had a DJ set up. They were playing the France-Amsterdam game, and it was fucking chaos. It was just like, and it wasn't a ton of people because it was a tiny little town. Like, let's call it 400 people.
Wow.
And
I mean, that's tiny.
everyone was just like fucking. The town is I don't know about much bigger, but bigger than that. But it was, you know, like everywhere else was shut down.
Yeah.
Felt like anyone who was doing anything was in there.
Right.
And it was fucking awesome. It was really fun.
There she is. That's
Yeah.
That's smoke.
Bigger glasses on her. That was like, yeah. I mean, right?
Bigger glasses. You can see it, right? You can see it.
She did
I
look
did
like
that
this.
one.
It was a great. She had spirit. I get Jordan now. Jordan makes sense. I see where she's coming from.
Do you think that if like a 35-year-old like in shape, got money, got game, great hair, light eyes, tall, went up to Jordan, she'd be like, "Get away from me"? I think she probably would at this point.
Probably, yeah.
God, I want to talk to that girl. Can we get her on the show? But wait, so you're dancing in the town?
That was it. That was
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It was just. It was like.
The solstice, I think, is a big deal everywhere. Did you see how Stonehenge got vandalized last week?
Yes.
That was right before they do a solstice party at Stonehenge because
Oh, really?
the sun comes through the blocks and all that
okay.
shit. I also I was mad about that. I was like, don't fuck with Stonehenge. Stonehenge is cool, right?
But it was just cornstarch, right? Like, it's not the end of the world.
More importantly, do you know how many times Stonehenge has been fucked with?
Oh, I bet 10 trillion.
They bring in a crane and they like pick them up and move them,
Yeah.
and put them down and shit. I was like, oh, wait a minute, who fucking cares? But there's pictures of like in the 70s, it's like a full blown construction site where they like I don't know, we're maybe like establishing them or something like that. I thought it was like these things have been standing up forever, and never touched. Like, look at this. There's fucking pictures of it. You're mad. You made me look like a fool, Stonehenge. I was a fool. I'm yelling about fucking orange powder when they probably replaced the bricks. Probably not even real stone. It is. Stonehenge is weird. Stonehenge is crazy. Somebody said that they did like a MythBusters type thing and proved that like it could be done. I don't know about all that, man.
Yeah, I saw. I think you had an Instagram post about it where you're like, if you think Stonehenge was built by humans, you're an idiot or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a video before with a modern construction guy making primitive tools.
Yeah.
And moving, and he basically doesn't end up building them, but he's like, this is how you build the pyramids.
You move it. Yeah.
And he was like, I could do it in 25 years with a team of 500 people.
Yeah.
Which is about how long it took to build the
Right,
pyramids.
and they had like millions of slaves.
Yeah.
But it's more to me about like the intricacies of it. I don't know so much about Stonehenge, but the pyramids are like made to like perfection, down to like inches. You know what I mean? That seems like a little crazy to me.
I'm sure it does, but like I don't know.
They're like perfect like airways and all this shit that's like, you know, these bricks are like perfectly like touching together after thousands of years.
But
like,
I don't know how
like,
they do that modern times. So like, why?
But I just know
if you
we're a
ask
lot
me,
smarter.
could you do that in the year 2025 or whatever year it is? I'd say no.
All the more reason to say why would we be able to do it?
But I just don't have any knowledge.
We could just stop that sentence right there. You know?
You know what I mean? Like I can't call something fake. I don't know. Yeah, for sure.
I feel like we're way smarter and capable than we are today than we were back then. But maybe not. Maybe
Like people as a whole?
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Like engineering and architecture and shit. So it's like I'm still surprised by I cannot believe that I still will never understand this. That like an architect makes a blueprint and then like that becomes a fucking building.
Yeah.
Like that they just look at it and like can transfer it. Like, okay, yeah, that I just like I will never understand how built. Like, how are we? What are we inside this gigantic fucking thing? That like and then the crazy thing is like, yeah, the architect's smart, but then like it trickles down to, you know, regular blue collar construction workers, and they like nail it. Every it's all perfect.
Yeah.
To the point that we can build, you know, 1,000-foot skyscrapers and shit. Crazy. I'm surprised we're not still living in like huts and fucking Lincoln logs and shit like that, man. And back in they built it even like faster when older. The Empire State Building was built in like a year and a half. It was like bam, 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 bam. You got a building. So you had your one of your ideas come to fruition yesterday. Have we talked about the bananas at all on this show?
We talked about on the last one, the idea.
So Jackie's been tracking down a little over 1,000 bananas.
1,200.
1,200 bananas to make this video, and it was yesterday. And I think it went fantastic.
I think it was great.
I had some reservations, just being like, I was a little worried it was gonna be like a Clemmer thing where it was like, okay, the thing happened and like now what? But I think a testament to your performance, John.
Yeah.
That it kept it moving and it kept people. I mean, it was like when people go to the box.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
where they're sitting around and they're just like, I don't like any of this, but I love all this. Like,
Fran outright said, she's like, I did not want to watch this, but I can't leave.
yeah, Fran came in like the elderly stateswoman that she is, being like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
And I explained it to her, and she was like, "I like it even less now."
I didn't
but
expect
she
it
was
to
like,
be
"Yeah, I
like
can't leave."
Like everyone was watching it. It ended up being like a live show, and I was like, I don't have like good. I don't know. It was like
No, I think that's a testament to you, though. I think that something.
Yeah, when I came out there and you had your sweatshop assembly line going, and everybody was like into it or disgusted by it or whatever, it was like, oh, this is a whole office event, you know?
Yeah.
there are
Intense
very few people in this office that like the office would do that for.
Yeah, agreed.
That's so nice.
Yes. Yeah.
That's so nice. No, everyone was so sweet about like the whole process, like setting up, clean up, everything.
Yeah, I like this intern crop a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all are very like active and into it, and like
Yeah. They were like, what do you need? And they did, and they killed the bananas. Like based on my calculations, it was gonna take like.
Yeah, you thought it was gonna take like 5 hours. It took like 30 minutes.
It took like 30 minutes. They worked so much quicker. But I gave them like 30 seconds. I was like, okay, if you guys average a banana peel in like 30 seconds, they whipped it out in like 5 seconds. It's the best.
Yeah, in hindsight,
Averaging a banana peel every 30 seconds. That's
that was.
that's
But
not
I was
great.
I was accounting for like the
Laziness.
switch of like banana to banana.
No,
you know,
again, think
turning
about it.
around,
You
getting
just,
the
you
peel,
just
like,
rip it, pull it.
You have to think the whole thing through.
Yeah, you do. You gave yourself a good buffer.
Like,
That's a good execution, right?
yeah,
there,
exactly. But it turns out like. When you really hammer down on these kids,
yeah. When you,
just,
know,
like,
when you
when
use
you run
slave
it like a
labor,
sweatshop,
apparently you build the pyramids.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you think about how quickly we had a pool of bananas. If we really put them to the test, we could have had Stonehenge.
It went to. I mean, the whole thing went to my head. I was like, turns out I could do anything.
That was
listen.
funny when we were talking about it beforehand. You're like, I just said it, and they just got me 1,200. Like, ask one question.
Stop.
They handed you a
letting
credit
me-
card. Madness.
Yeah.
I think I briefly saw you like operating amongst them. I think that combined with like confessional videos you'll be doing or have done or stuff. I think it's gonna be a very funny video.
Yeah.
There's a lot of footage now. I got to figure out.
Well, that's the
what.
thing too. Is like, I mean, it went on for like you were in there for like an hour.
Was I?
like-
I went fast.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
you were in there for a while.
I would say like
didn't even,
40, 45 minutes. Like no, it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
from like the 2 o'clock hour to the 3 o'clock hour, pretty much.
Oh. Yeah, no, I had a good time. A couple of the interns that come to me today asking how I'm feeling. I was like, I feel great. I'd do it again right now.
Do you feel more like lotioned or moisturized? At
No,
all?
I wouldn't say that, but
Do
Do you want to tell them about the shower
yeah.
revelation you had? With your, was it all over?
oh
Routine
yeah,
base.
yeah. Well, because then I gotta talk about how.
Yeah.
I said my only regret. I said the past. My only regret was I didn't do push-ups in the thing because I think the image of it all dripping off me
Yeah, like
would have been
sticking
funny.
as you go
Yeah.
up and down. Yeah. The sounds, the sights are one thing. The sounds, the smells.
Yeah.
That's just, I can't believe people eat bananas. They're gross. But I mean, I walked out of our studio, which is a full, the other side of the building, and I could just smell bananas.
I don't think I can eat a banana ever again.
Yeah.
I eat
Well,
a banana
John is-
every morning. I went to the store and I passed right by him.
Really?
Not tomorrow.
Somebody
If my
asked,
legacy can be I ruined bananas, I'll be pretty happy about that.
Which is
people
good
were
'cause
asking him, "Are you going to eat bananas again?" He was like, "Oh
yeah,
yeah."
Give me a banana right now.
Yeah.
I'll eat a banana. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, you were eating some of the ones that were in there with your body.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but there was a bunch of good like activities, if you will, to do it. There's
Yeah, we didn't even need the activities. Honestly, you just rolling around.
you
in
were
the
really
bananas
good. You were
was
really
like-
good.
Was
Like you're good at those things where it's like people just want to laugh when you're doing stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you evoke this like humor. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
like,
This sounds really mean.
no, it's not.
People want to laugh at the 10-year retarded guy.
No, I mean it the exact opposite way. I think you could, read the dictionary and people would find it entertaining and funny. There's something about like your aura is just like let's fucking laugh.
And probably if you break it down, it's probably pretty mean.
It's like any joke you break down to, it's like
Yeah.
it's mean.
Yeah, we like to laugh at you while you do dumb shit. But like, if I was in that tub of bananas, I think people would be like, "Let's go home." This is. But with John, it's like, what's he gonna do next? I don't know. He did that like spiral thing. That was cool. I don't want to reveal too much, but there was some moves in there.
It's good because I wanted to hit like the I was saying like the food, like just the weird like
The weird
kink
end.
community.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
I
I wouldn't
think
call
that
this
they're-
the food community. I don't
Not
think
the
like
food
food.
community.
No,
the,
these are
like,
perverts.
Yeah, these are the
Yeah.
deviants.
You want people
Because
to
I think they're a
masturbate.
strong community.
Yeah.
And I think that we hit that. Like, if
Over,
you
under-
are into like foot stuff and like mushing around and
Yeah.
food and everything, like you're gonna love this video, and you're gonna have some new fans who are
Like
gonna.
you say, we're gonna break into an entirely new
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah.
We're gonna see like views like double because we just have a whole new audience now. People that are like, I don't know who these guys are, but he's got bananas between his toes, and I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
If,
like,
if this becomes my career, I'll kill you.
Imagine you had golden handcuffs over this. Like, well, I don't know. I made too much money. You got to get back in the bananas, bro.
It's like with Dave. He said like he was always like, I don't care how you know me as long as you know me. I do care how you know me. And I don't want you to know me as the pool food guy.
How many views would this need to get for you to do it again?
Oh, 10,000. It was fun. I had fun. Yeah.
But you just said you don't want to be that guy.
Well, I don't want to. I don't know. I'm gonna wiggle my way out of this one.
It was so funny.
Like if I told you right now, you will become the pool banana guy, but you will become Mr. Beast. Like you'll get like 100 million views on these videos. Would you make that your career?
I would do it for a little while until people liked it too much and then stop. Because then I would stop liking it.
Would you be able to do it knowing that people are like getting off to it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
That was a stupid
I'll be
question.
honest, he probably likes it.
Not an issue.
Like, could you imagine if the same way that people are in the streets being like, "Yo, what's up, man? I'm listening to your podcast right now." If they were like, "I jerked off to a banana pool yesterday, man. You are the fucking best." And you're just like, "Yeah, man. You want to take a picture? Cool." Oh man, you would really become Banana Man. You really would?
Yeah, we're gonna make you into a little star.
I would. I mean, like that was fun and funny. That again, a testament to you. You like put forward a good product, and you were excited, so I was excited to do it. Like that made it fun for me that you were having fun.
Dude, if I were you, when I walked in and saw the whole operation, I would have been like, all right, let's go. Because I had visions of like the four of us standing around a pool and him jumping in and being like, crickets, you know? Like, that might be
Oh my god,
bad.
but that's what made me so much more nervous. I was like, now we're doing like a live show in front of these
Now all of a sudden we had an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the like nice but mean aspect.
Yeah.
So at the wedding this weekend, I stayed with my buddy and his wife, and my buddy was in the bridal party. So like me and his wife just kind of went to the wedding together. And after the wedding, a couple of the people, because there's a ton of people who didn't know who we were, and they came up and they were like, "We'd heard about the Americans coming, and when yous two walked into it was just us, like still like the bridal party was off taking pictures and stuff, and they all assumed we were together, and they were like we heard about the Americans coming, and when we saw yous two walk in, we were like, Jesus Christ, that's a fucking fit couple. We were like, look at her face, look at her cheekbones, look at how hot she is, and look at his outfit." I was like, thank you so much. It even had a pause where I was like, and look at you with your outfit. Like, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
What were you wearing?
I was wearing a fire outfit. Green double-breasted blazer, a blue knit polo, and the pair of big khakis.
Sounds like
Big khakis.
Yeah. So J. Crew calls them the big khaki.
Yeah.
But the other thing I had to say about the wedding, it was the best. It was one of the best weddings I've ever been to. But the coolest thing about it, and I don't know if this is because it's a foreign wedding or a destination wedding, no one complained the whole fucking time. Everyone complains at weddings.
Yeah,
it's
they do.
so much where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I have to go do this. Oh, the fucking game's on. We're not gonna get to watch the game. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Two people I care about is the best day of their
threw a
lives.
big party. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I want to have fun with them. I
Yeah.
don't really care where it is or fucking what's on TV. Like no one. It was a 3-day affair. No one was like, where's the game? And the Euros were happening. So for European soccer fans,
big deal,
It's
yeah.
a bigger deal than a college football Saturday or an NFL Sunday. They happen every 2 years. International competition. No one was like, "Where's the TVs?" No one said fucking anything. It was just. I get people complain about weddings. They're so.
They
fucking,
do. I can understand that the destination weddings can sometimes be a problem.
But then if it's a problem, don't go.
yeah,
Like they're factoring that in. They
but
understand what they're doing.
That's the only thing though. Is I think sometimes some people are not as understanding about like if you don't come. But
I think I don't know obviously, but I think if you're planning a destination wedding, you're probably thinking some people can't afford this, some people can't make it.
yeah, you better be. That's my point. You better
Yeah.
be. You know. But yeah, I do think this is why I'm gonna as president, put a cap on the lavishness and the ridiculousness of weddings, is because when it's something like that, it's awesome. When it becomes this wildly expensive, over the top, way too long of an event, people, it wears down on people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, even though the ceremony was 2 hours, it was long. No one complained about that. It was like,
ceremony was 2 hours.
Yeah, the marriage was 2 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was in this church where like
Big time religious, like.
No, it was in this. It's in a church that is on like the Lord's Walk, the Lourdes, right? Lourdes, France, like the water.
Yeah.
It's on that walk, and it's a bit part of getting married in this church is you have to speak fluent French.
Oh.
Neither the bride nor groom do. It's just the current priest used to work in Dublin, and they had an Irish connection, and he was like, "Fine, you guys can get married."
So that's not the rule, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's like, so also especially when, like 90% of the time, if you like are complaining about a wedding, you hate the wedding, you go to the wedding, and you're like, this sucked, and you go home, it's like, all right, whatever, fine. I don't know. You didn't like the people, you don't like the party. 90% of the time, you end up like on the dance floor, fucking having a good time.
Yeah.
You're drinking, you're partying. And it's like, why are we doing all that complaining? You know?
I don't know if I've been anti-destination wedding. I don't think I've ever really had that strong a stance on it. But it's kind of put me onto it because it was. I mean, how many times in your life as an adult are you and your 50 friends actually together again?
And it makes you do something. Maybe it's a little bit expensive, but it's like, we're gonna go to Portugal.
Yeah,
it's like, that's pretty cool. Yeah. We weren't gonna get up off our asses and go to Portugal,
right?
But now you kind of people you need to think of it more of an excuse to do it as opposed to a necessity that I have to do it.
Right.
But I also do see the other side of it, especially I think.
But that's fine. Like, if you don't like it, that's completely fine. Don't have to go. Don't go and just complain the whole time.
Right. I think it's more. When you're in the wedding and now it's like you have like these over the top responsibilities.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll come and party. I love you guys. I want to celebrate it. I've got to rent this and tailor that and show up at this thing and be there 3 hours before. And blah, blah, blah. But also, again, it's like, hey man, can you just do it for one day?
Right.
One fucking day for the to make the bride happy. When I got married, it was October, and Dan and Dave were like asking me about the college football games, and I was like, I don't fucking know, dude. It's like early October. It's like the fourth game of the year. I don't give a shit. Not like I made you miss like the bowl game or something.
I'm gonna miss Bama at Chattanooga.
Yeah, it's like it's 42-0. Next fucking question. Who gives a fuck?
Before we get to this, I want to tell one more story from the wedding. I've already told you, everybody, but it is my favorite story. So Friday night, we're dancing, we're having fun. There was one house in particular that was full of maniacs. They get to the party at like 2 a.m. One guy who is, I think I'm being serious, like the funniest guy I've ever met in my life, shows up. He's hammered drunk, blacked out. You can tell immediately. And the first thing he does when he gets to the table is he goes to reach for his shirt and take his shirt off. One of the guys pops up and he's like, Dard, there's one rule. There's one rule, Dard. Leave that on. Doesn't miss a beat. Moves from his collar to his belt buckle. Like half the table now pops up. 2 rules! There are 2 rules! Dard doesn't miss a beat again. Reaches for his shoe. He's got a shoe off in his hand, cocked back, just ready to launch it into the crowd for who knows what reason. The whole table pops up. 3 rules, Dar! There are 3 rules! He just goes, how many fucking rules are there? And slams his shoe on the ground. It's, to this day, I get played out like a sitcom. Everyone's timing was so good. It's the funniest thing I've ever been there for.
That guy's done something like that a million times before. They knew exactly what was going to happen.
How many fucking rules are there?
I always wanted to be that guy.
Yeah.
Even if just for a night. Be the guy who's like, we know he's a liability and he's a fucking monster, but it's absolutely hilarious.
He saw me on the bus the next day. He just sees me first and goes, Jesus, you were fucked up last night. Like, no, dude, I wasn't.
Okay. So this is Pop Girls digital and physical albums worldwide sold from 1999 on. First of all, Madonna is a fucking powerhouse. I
Yeah.
did not realize at all.
She's no Nicki Minaj, but
So you can kind of watch people as they pop in and out, but watch your girl Avril. I did not know that Avril Lavigne was on this level. When you see her, she skyrockets up the chart and is up there with like the big dogs.
I it's still moving. So I don't know quite how big it gets. I wouldn't say that shocks me.
Like
It's a little surprising, but Avril, I mean,
yeah,
was a TRL staple.
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
a TRL mainstay. She was like, I mean, Avril and Simple Plan and fucking Blink. I mean, they had Carson Daly painting his nails.
Yeah.
There was like pop punk wasn't like this little neat. Pop punk was the fucking
but, like, if
music
you-
of like my like 4-year window. Like that was I wasn't. I feel like I'm kind of like, at least in this office, in the minority as like the kind
Yeah.
of music I listen to. But that
outside
where
of it.
I grew up and when I grew up, that I was
The norm.
pretty
Yeah.
normal. Yeah.
But like, if you ask me whose peak was higher, Jennifer Lopez or Avril Lavigne, I would never even consider Avril Lavigne.
yeah, you probably. But now that we think about it, I probably wouldn't have said it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's Avril by a bloodbath.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, I
because
think J-Lo has like
J-Lo's-
worldwide appeal and Spanish speaking and all that shit.
But I would say her because she's remained famous. But like also, by the way, Avril's new album from like 2 years ago is fucking
I
awesome.
remember you saying that.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know what she did in between then. But like J-Lo became an actress, and J-Lo, she stayed in our minds, whereas Avril kind of.
Avril Lavigne right now in 2009, it was Britney Spears, Madonna, Mariah Carey, Avril Lavigne. Wow, she was fourth.
Yeah, that like I was gonna say probably maybe a little bit in middle school, so it's like a 5 or 6 year
30 million records, and or digital and records. Like beneath her, it's Whitney Houston, Christina Aguilera, Celine Dion, Shakira, Beyonce, Rihanna.
But
Like,
even like 09 Beyonce,
What?
that's right. That's like what she's got one single or one album.
yeah. So she
Right?
does. She pops off. Yeah. So it is a timing thing, but like to even be up in this conversation, and then Taylor just it's crazy. Like, but it I would have thought Taylor was like floating around at the bottom. She's really not until she makes it, and then it's like
What album is it? That doesn't say.
it doesn't say albums, but it looks like 2014. Let's see.
I was gonna say Red. So yeah,
2012, she's not on it. Oh, she is on it. 2013, she has 24 million, so she's like starting to cook. And then
I think Red was like 2013, 2014.
it's pretty steady. Katy Perry overtakes her though, and then it just goes whoop in
Because that
2015.
was a debate for a while.
2015, it just shoots to the 50 millions.
Anyone wants to go dig up that footage of arguing with Dave and Dan about Katy Perry versus Taylor Swift? See who was on what side there.
Really?
It was. I honestly forget. I don't mean to disparage Dave. Dan was definitely a Katy Perry guy, but also that was a fair point. Like Katy Perry had hits. I don't honestly remember if Dave was Katy Perry or Taylor Swift.
You know, it's still so bananas though. Right now, as of January 2024, Taylor Swift, 88 million sold. Number 2, Britney Spears. Hasn't put out a fucking album in a decade.
That's crazy.
And she still got 80 million sold. And then it's Beyonce and Madonna. Madonna. I mean, I guess the 80s and early 90s was her shit.
Yeah.
But I would not have thought
Well, that was I don't know if anyone got my reference, probably not. But when I just said she's no Nicki Minaj, during the dozen the other night, it was like during the overtime we had 2 questions. One, how many hits did I don't know if it was overtime or bonus round, whatever it was. It was how many charting songs did Madonna have, and I kind of nailed it. I think I said somewhere in the 70s or maybe 60s, and it ended up being somewhere in the 70s. It was right around there, and then. Later was how many did Nicki Minaj have, and I was like more than Madonna, and it was like double Madonna.
wow.
But because it's counting features and it's counting all that stuff.
Oh, that's a little bit different.
So, but it was counting all that for Madonna too. She just doesn't have a lot of features.
Yeah, features.
My
are-
mind was Nicki does a lot of features.
Yeah.
Madonna didn't. Nicki's probably got more.
Smart.
I I was on fire in the bonus round.
Bro, you're great at the dozen. It's crazy. All right, the NBA is done. NHL's done. We are now into the dog days of baseball. We are also full swing for your summer concerts. Of course, there's always stand-up comedy, maybe the Fully Loaded tour with Bert and all the comedians. Whatever live event you're trying to get into, did you know you can get tickets right now for a fraction of the price by going to Game Time, the app that is the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You don't have to worry about getting tickets. Getting tickets can be stressful. It's like, should we buy them right now? I only have 10 minutes left in my cart. Should I get it here? Should I get it there? Should we travel? Blah, blah, blah. You always worry. Not with Game Time, because it's the app with the best prices on the secondary market. So you can wait as long as you want, and you'll still always be able to get in the building to whatever live event you want to go to. It's the fast and easy way to buy tickets to all sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. They have flash deals for sudden discounts. They have zone deals for depending on where you are. And they have the lowest price guarantee. That means if you find seats for a cheaper price on another platform, they'll give you 110% of the difference.
It's Justin Timberlake at MSG tonight.
Oh, I didn't know he was at the Garden.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's Sabrina Carpenter. Oh, Copa America is at MetLife. Yankees, Mets. Obviously, I'm just looking at the New York City shows.
Copa America is probably a very fun time.
Yeah, I can imagine that's really, really sick.
So there's all this live events going on near you. Take the guesswork.
NBA draft, Barclays. There's all kind of Hootie. I don't know where's Bethel Woods Center for the Arts. I don't know that, but there's a Matchbox 20 at the Pru. Matchbox 20 does the Prudential Center. That feels big.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code KFC for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Hey, what's up, fights? Kevin, Jackie, Babs. Walking my dog right now. My question is, have you ever found yourself in kind of a purgatory of sorts that you're too afraid to stop doing what you're doing? Because you don't know what's going to happen. For example, right now, for whatever reason, allergy season's going pretty late into June. And I take my allergy medicine every day and Benadryl every night. Because the one night that I didn't, like my eyes were crusted shut and it was terrible. So yeah, have you ever found yourself in a routine that you're too afraid to get out of because you don't know what the consequence would be? All right, Piva.
Bro, I mean, first of all, that's called life, bro. Second of all, I don't think it relates to you just blatantly not taking medication and letting your eyes get gross.
I was gonna say, when he first said this, I was like, no, never. And then he got on the medication. I was like, well, I just fucking grabbed this in the hallway because I know I'm out of omeprazole at home. And I just saw this in the corner. I was like, well, I'll take that. Yeah, because I have to take my medicine in the morning.
Yeah, that's not a routine that you're like afraid to stop. Like, you have to do it or your eyeballs are going to be crusty and disgusting. It's more like, you have a job that you like, should I quit my job and start something new? Should I break up with this person and be single? Should I move to another city? Those are the questions that I think you don't think that?
What?
You said you never felt that way?
No.
No. Gave some honest thought. I swear to God, there's just a ping pong ball bouncing around in there, and he goes, and it's just going ding, 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 and then no. It's amazing that you do well in the dozen because it's like just an empty fucking hollow. You knock on that brain, you hear echoes in there. I mean, I guess because you started here and you have no intention of like ever leaving, right? So like,
no,
there's no thought of. There's never been a thought of like grass is greener somewhere or anything like that.
I loosely thought about it. I think I talked about this with Erica, or maybe I think I talked about Erica at her goodbye dinner. But like there was when we first moved to New York, like WEI was like it was never like an official offer or formal offer. I never had a number, but I was like I might go if they.
Those guys.
I think at the time it was like if they offer me like $100,000, I'll go.
Yeah.
They again, like I don't think we ever like officially talked numbers. Maybe it was more than that. Maybe it was like 150 or something like that. But it was something like.
Yeah.
Thank God I didn't number.
Yeah.
And it was like I remember going into her office and being like, "Well, this is like." She's like, "Why would you leave?" And I was like, "I don't know." She's like, "It's a rocket ship." And I was like, "Well, okay, I don't know." Yeah, obviously, it's a rocket ship. And I was like, "I don't know. Like, I don't fucking have any reason to stay." Like, and she's like, "You'd be dumb to leave." And I was like, "Okay." But that was probably the only time I ever.
Those radio stations dropped the fucking ball because if they came in and offered, if Philly, New York, Boston, all these places offered the guys here like real money. They're all like floundering and dying now, you know.
Yeah,
and it's like you probably had a chance right then and there to really poach people away if you threw around like if you took, you know, because the guys on the air at least in New York were making like, you know, Mike and the Mad Dog and these guys are making like a lot of money.
Yeah.
So if you gave even a fraction of that to like these young guys who were coming through Barstool, you probably could have, you know, at least fought off a little bit of the extinction going on. You know what I mean? But they never really.
It was like I said, it never really got anything.
Yeah, they never really made like a
conversations,
full
but it was
blown
never
offer
like a real
or anything.
thing.
Yeah,
but that and even that was like I wasn't in a purgatory in the sense like I wanted to leave. Mm-hmm. It was one of those things where it's like I don't know if they offer me more money,
right?
And
right.
Why would I not leave?
Right,
like,
right.
That's how jobs work. If someone offers you more money, you go to that job.
Well, I people need to like remember that it's just a job. You know what I mean? Like the loyalty that. It's such a one-way street of people being loyal to their job and the job not being loyal to them back.
Yeah.
They'll drop you in a fucking in a heartbeat. Like you get a better offer, see you later. No reason to stick around. Now, if there is a reason, like, well, I'm gonna take less now, but because I have a future here that can make more.
Yeah.
But if it's just like apples to apples and there's more money, see you later. Did you just raise your hand? That was crazy.
Because it's off topic. It's pretty off topic, so I don't know why I raised my hand. Can I? It's off topic.
Yeah.
But this guy was walking his dog. It reminded me on West Side Highway. I can't really figure out what I saw. I saw a dog with like big old titties, and like I'm not kidding. He was wearing a sports bra, or she was wearing a sports bra. I'm not kidding. And so like as I was walking, I was like, that's funny. Like that dog like looks like it has like breasts. And then I got closer and I was like, well, so then what is it? And I got closer and I was like, no, that's a sports bra. And like the boot, like the dogs, it was like two. So then I was like, maybe there's just like two weights in the.
Oh, maybe.
But like it was like you could see like
the dog needs to lose some weight. So you put
that's the thing?
I don't know, but I
yeah, like I thought
reason.
like whatever, which is also a weird move. But I saw like the side boob was like fur. So then I was like,
was it an old dog?
No. I mean, I don't know. I didn't like
old dogs. Like my dogs before they died had like big fat deposits. They weren't.
No, it was
they weren't
like,
breast by any stretch of imagination. But maybe it could become that if they got bigger fat deposits.
I guess it was, but it was like. If anyone has seen this dog on the West Side Highway, like I
have your phone?
No, like, and I also didn't want to like be a creep and like snap this dog's cleavage. Like
that's a pervert.
I gotta
move.
show my friend this dog's tits.
Like it was
when
so
you
weird.
said it's off topic,
Sorry.
holy moly!
It's because like the viewers, the listeners, the guy was walking his dog.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was
yeah.
at least some bit
yeah.
of a segue, but boy,
But
that's
like-
that. There's no segue into that one at all.
Sorry.
Speaking of
Anyways,
purgatory, you ever see a dog with tits?
it was crazy. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
So we never got to the bottom of it.
Never got to the bottom of it. But like, if anyone, but I really want to know if anyone has seen this dog on West Side Highway and like, what is it? What's going on?
Hey KFC, Fights, whole crew, long time. So recently I've been getting into World War II. And as a 25-year-old teenage girl, I don't know that much about World War II. I feel like I only learned about U.S. history in high school, obviously can take history classes in college. Anyway, so I'm reading this book, and at the beginning of the book, it's set in rural France in the 1940s. Yeah. So at the beginning of the book, France surrenders to Germany. And I look over at my boyfriend, who, like most men, knows too much about World War II. And like most men, thinks his girlfriend is dumb. Thinks, maybe knows. I don't know. So then I look at him and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. France surrendered to Germany in World War II? When did that happen? How did I miss this one? And then he's like, why the fuck do you think Normandy happened? D-Day, you ever heard of that one? And I'm like, yes, I've seen Saving Private Ryan, of course. I forget that's France. Anyway, so that was my first mishap. Then we start watching Band of Brothers, and because he loves it as a World War II nerd, and they are in Holland, and I'm like, whoa, 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 Holland? And he's like, yes, Holland is the Netherlands. And I'm like, I've been there, I know that, of course. But, whoa, whoa, whoa. They surrendered to Germany too? And then he again is like, you ever heard of Anne Frank? Didn't you go to her house? I'm like, yes, I did. Okay, so that's over 2 for me. So my question is, what are things that you know you should know, but you just can't, it doesn't come to you like that? Yes, I know Normandy. Yes, I know D-Day. But that was France? Yes, I know that. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just...
I can understand. I understand.
I was gonna say, I completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think about, when I think about Anne Frank, I don't think that's because the Netherlands surrendered to the Nazis. Like, it makes sense that they were occupying it and then she had to hide, but I don't connect those two.
I've also been to the Anne Frank house. I like right now before that video, if you were like, where's the Anne Frank? Where was Anne Frank hiding? I'd been probably Berlin. Like I've been.
I mean, I would know it was there. I just wouldn't make the connection that it's because they took over. You know.
I didn't know they surrendered. I knew about Normandy. Obviously, I knew about D-Day. I don't know. I actually, in having just gotten back from France, I learned I did not know anything about France. Like I didn't know.
Yeah, we don't know shit about shit here. Bro, think about when you were in social studies. Like, at least I remember, it was like June like 5th in school, and we were getting to like World War II.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then nuclear bombs. Like, have a good summer.
The last page of all of our textbooks was always 9/11. So it was just like huge skip 9/11.
At some point, that's got to shift, right? Where it's like, at least for me, like we painstakingly, agonizingly went over like the American Revolution for like what felt like months, and then there was we had to do 200-300 years in the same amount of time, and
you leave France off. I don't know. Like they surrender. I always know that they're cowards and they're pussies, and again, having just gotten back, I can definitively say they're absolute cunts. But you know what? I go back and forth with that because. So I got a tour of the Louvre, and I had a tour guide, and that was like I landed, went to the Louvre, and got a tour, and I was just talking to my tour guide, this woman, and she's from Portugal, but she's lived in France for 30 years, and I was like, what are the French like? How do I, I'm going to be here for a few days, how do I get around? And she was like, honestly, just start with bonjour, and you're fine from there. And I was like, my initial reaction was, Jesus Christ, get over yourselves. And then I was like, well, all they ask is to be greeted in their native language on their native land, and then they'll speak your language? It's a pretty fair thing.
I think that's worse.
I don't know.
I find that to be like patronizing or whatever. It's just like, we'll just, like I know you don't speak it. Don't like pretend.
See, because if you say a very fair exchange, just say hello to me in my tongue, and then I'll speak yours.
So, but what do you think happens? You say I guess they just can tell from the way you say it that like you don't really speak it, and then you just speak English back.
I would just go bonjour, parlez-vous anglais, and then they would go, yeah, what's up?
Yeah. What do you got?
But they would. It was. That was in Paris. In Auch, it was very much like xenophobia.
Yeah,
it was like we would try and get dinner, and they would just be like, "Can we eat?" And they'd be like, "No."
I kind of respect that too, though. Like, it's just a mess when you start letting all these other fucking things happen. You know what I mean? We're fighting this war over here. We got our hands in this and that. Just close ranks. Just fucking.
Japan in the 1800s.
Yeah, Japan was fucking good.
No one can leave, no one can come. Leave us the fuck alone.
Yeah,
I think it was maybe 1900s.
I think that usually when you do that stuff, there's like ethnic cleansing involved. I'm not down with that, but I am down with like, I'm just gonna let the Middle East do its thing. I'm just gonna let you guys fight that war. I'm not gonna worry about that over there. We got our own shit. But I'm sure the problem with this question is like you don't know what you don't know.
Right,
you know?
right.
But there's
I
got
don't
to
know-
be
I don't know anything.
million things, that like, or that I know, but I don't make the connection that like, oh, that happened because of this, or
Yeah.
if I didn't know tortilla chips were made from tortillas, I certainly don't connect the dots in World War II wars. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I knew to feel like that sentence. Did France surrender in World War II? I don't know.
That I knew. That's why we call them surrender monkeys, and they're fucking.
I knew. I just thought they didn't get involved. I thought it was just like kind of like you with the Middle East, where it's like, oh, you guys
That's
figure it out.
what? That's Switzerland, right? They were
Switzerland,
neutral?
yeah, but they were like outwardly neutral,
Right.
Where I thought France was like, I don't know if you guys want to
Which
fight
is
here.
kind of crazy.
Yeah,
That they were like, because weren't they like that's where like Nazis were hiding like
Their money,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's like you're neutral, but like you're really still helping them a lot. It's like you're not really doing much for us,
Right.
It's like you're letting them hide all their shit there. We're like millions of miles away. I don't know. To just be like, you guys figure that out.
yeah.
It's like it's happening. It's a massacre happening all around you. Crazy.
What does surrender even really mean? Surrender, I guess, kind of just means I'm being outwardly neutral.
Yeah, wait,
Like, I don't
and
know, fine.
also
like they didn't start fucking
And-
like they didn't start fighting for the Nazis. So what does surrender mean? Right? Did they start fighting for the Nazis?
you need to fight for them, but it's like I think you just take over you occupy, everything. Your government is no longer in power. Your army has surrendered. You probably take over all their artillery and all their resources and shit like that.
So you give them everything.
I would imagine. Otherwise, you're still fighting them, no?
But if you're like, we're not going to shoot you, but you can't have our guns.
I would
That to
imagine.
me sounds like a
I would
surrender.
imagine the H man wouldn't have trusted that pinky swear. Promise I won't shoot you. I don't know what that. What's a false surrender? Maybe that's what. It's a war crime. False surrenders are usually to draw the enemy out of cover and then you attack them. I would do that.
Yeah.
I would for sure do that.
That's some fucking malicious shit.
I would be like, we are, we're done. No, we're not.
But so what? I still don't really know what does it technically mean. Capitulation and agreement in time of war to surrender to a hostile armed force. I think it just means you go, nah, I'm not. We're not gonna fight. Like, I don't think it means we start fighting for you. You can start using our weapons and guns.
Yeah,
I think it means like, yo, we're out.
I guess so. Yeah, I just don't think I would. I don't know how much I would trust it. The process. Let's see. When the parties agree to terms, surrender may be conditional. That surrendering party agrees to submit only after the victor makes certain promises. So yeah, they probably say like, we won't kill any civilians. You and your any important people can like go unharmed, but we are gonna set up shop here.
This doesn't really have any answers.
No, it doesn't. Wikipedia let us down on this one.
I still don't really know what.
It said, yeah, that was that. Like whoever wrote that one was just bullshit.
Yeah. It's from what I'm reading, it seems like it's like you don't get anything, but you don't kill us.
I think it's more like they wanted to advance and just like take over all of Europe.
Right.
So it's just like we're gonna.
But
occupy
did French people? Obviously, I'm sure there were some lunatics, but like did French people didn't become Nazis.
No. I'm sure that there's people who were forced into certain things, but it's not like we fight for your team now. I think it's just more like we're gonna roll through. I think that's why they usually call it the Nazi occupation, because it's like we're just gonna occupy.
Yeah.
But I would do that false surrender all the time.
Yeah,
Surprised that's not like a more of a thing.
It's what fucking Benjamin Martin did. Benjamin Martin had the militia running like that in the Patriot. They would go, we surrender, and then they'd all pop up. And
Idiots.
Yeah.
Idiots. It is weird that they're in war. There's like there were like we don't fight on Christmas Eve and like like it seems to me like it should be like an all out. We're fighting all the time.
I forget.
And instead it's like
What war would it have been? Vietnam? When they all I don't know what war. Gulf War maybe? When they all stopped to watch Pele. Pele was like on TV that day or something like that. And
Right.
Like, whoa, hang on. Pele's playing. No, it probably wasn't a war America was involved in.
But still,
yeah.
it's very funny. All right, last voicemail.
Yo, what up? KFC fights, Jackie Pavs. So I recently got a bike, and I've become a part of the eternal bicycles versus cars battle. I definitely get it now, you know? Like, I always grew up riding my bike as a kid, but now, like, either cutting through a road, you know, I'm rolling up, and a car's also rolling up, and they could easily just, like, I live in a city, so they're not going more than 10 miles an hour usually. All they got to do is let off the gas, hit the brakes a little bit, and I can just, like, slow down and then keep going right through. Half a second, no one knows, we move on. But instead, these fuckers get in line to, like, wait for the red fucking light, no context, no awareness of the situation, and then I gotta get off, I gotta, like, reset the pedals, then get back on, keep going. So I get it. It's obviously bad for bicyclists, but it's also bad for drivers. Like, I've been driving a car for forever, I get it. So I think these two forces are just, you know, they're Joker and Batman. They're doomed to go at it for the rest of eternity, and I'm kind of fucking here for it. It's electric, you know, it's Sox Yankees, it's what you live for. So my question is, what are some other things in life, you know, that are just great people on both sides, you know, but just always going to go at it, no matter what. Oh, and a little follow-up for you. What do you think's the oldest way to say fucking? You know, probably fucking. It sounds like you're fucking. Or, you know, laying pipe. Indoor plumbing wasn't discovered until, I don't know when, but that had to come, laying pipe had to come after that. Knocking boots, when were boots invented? So, yeah. What's another example of Joker, Batman, bicyclists, car drivers, and what's the oldest way of saying fucking? Love it. Bye.
Two very different questions. I first of all, I completely understand his line of thinking. Like, I'm sure if I was a bicyclist, I'd hate everyone too.
Yeah, when
I'm not, so I hate you.
When I'm in a car, I'm like, get these fucking people out of the goddamn road. Even pedestrians. I'm like, you're walking, you're on the right of way. And then when I'm walking, I'm jaywalking. I'm yelling, go. You know, it's like, which side benefits me? As far as who's, you know, doomed to just do this dance for eternity,
pop and soda sayers.
Yeah, they'll never
pop and soda.
You'll never get me to convert on that one. I'll never call it.
There's
pop.
all of those, like, fucking deep dish versus fucking
all of the things that matter the least. Like, you could sway me on politics for sure, you know, but you start to tell me that, like, you know, deep dish is better than regular, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Hockey and basketball fans.
Yeah.
Hockey and basketball fans.
White people and black people. No, but for real, men and women. Men and women will never sync up. It's never going to work. On like a wide scale, like, no. Never going to work. And then as far as...
Israel, Palestine.
As far as the oldest way to say fucking... That's an interesting one, because some of those things.
Uglies. Probably when that was invented. They were both horrific.
At that point, it was like, these things are fucking disgusting. I don't know. Whose do you think were worse, theirs or ours back then?
Theirs.
Yeah. There's just so
theirs
much more
is the whole
maintenance.
ecosystem.
Yeah.
Ours is just like, I mean, ours is outward. We had soap. We were fine. Theirs, they didn't have fucking St. Ives or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, that shit that you got to get all up in there, and they didn't have. They probably used to just fucking bleed, right?
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Yeah, I can't believe you asked that question. No brainer. What was worse in medieval times, dicks or pussies? Pussies. Pussies. It was.
When do you think they started calling it pussy? And why? Why would you call a vagina a pussy? Like, at that point, the only thing I know that's a pussy is a cat.
Cats are girls, dogs are boys.
That is a fact. That's a fact. Do you think that's what it was? Just like these cats are all like girls, so we'll just call that a pussy?
Yeah, probably.
Google, why do we call it pussy? Why do we call a vagina a pussy?
Cleopatra. That chick's got cats all over all the time. Yeah. She's throwing around that pussy. It's probably Cleopatra.
No. Why do we call a vagina a pussy?
But that could be it right there.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, non-sexual endearment.
It was around this time. the vagina, referring to it as something soft, warm, and furry. I guess, yeah. I mean, it was furry for a long time.
That's not really what I think
now
of when I think
it's,
of cats. I think of sharp claws and teeth.
Yeah. Now it's not furry. Not anymore. That would not be the overarching way to describe it. I don't know what animal's bald.
Why you call it pussy? I don't know. It's just so fucking hairy.
Looks like the back of a cat. The oldest term. Go to that page. 17 euphemisms for sex from the 1800s. Basket making.
Basket making sick.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Bread and butter. Hey, I got a question. With the birds and the bees, which one's which?
That doesn't make any sense to me.
I think
What do birds and bees do together?
But bees, I think it's bees pollinate, right?
Right.
So that would be the male. Birds, I don't know what they do. But the male pollinates.
Right, but what do the birds have to do? Isn't it? It should be more like the bees and the flowers.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why the birds make an appearance here.
The
Bird-
connection between human sexuality and eggs and pollution and vague. I don't know.
Maybe birds with eggs.
Oh, okay.
So like the bees are pollinating, and then the birds have eggs. That that's the two sides. You know, the guy comes in you, and then you build a baby. That's what the bees are doing that, and the birds are doing that.
I like how sex was explained to us through bestiality.
Yo, how much better would eggs be?
What do you mean?
I feel like if we I can't believe how primitive human procreation still is. It's like you just gotta carry this fucking thing inside of you and then shit it out, and it like wrecks your body, and then I feel like that's something that we should be able to put like in a little tube, in like a little toaster, and it's like you just build it outside the body.
I every day think why are we all on board with like growing a human inside of you and it crawls out? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean it's
crazy.
just the way. I mean that's just.
Like if I were to see that in like an alien movie, I'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You saw like some tentacle go inside and
Yeah.
discharge something, and then this thing grows till it almost explodes and then comes flying out. It's like, this is fucking demonic. And it's like, no, it's just babies. I mean, if you could tell me right now, you could take sperm and an egg and put it into like a little tub, and it would grow in there, and then you just take it out, like smoke goes everywhere, and you just have a baby.
We're probably pretty close
We
to that,
gotta
right?
be,
With
right?
IVF, like aren't we fucking...
We gotta be.
Aren't we like picking our eye colors and shit now?
Yeah. If you're like really rich, you can be fucking with
That's
the genes.
weird. If you do that, that's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's like
That is
some weird fucking... Just, I don't know, have the goddamn kid and just fucking figure
Yeah,
it
but
out.
it's like, but where do you draw the line though? Because it's like, you know what I mean? If you could like stop something bad from happening, you do that. And it's like, well, you're there. Can you make sure he's over 5'10"? You know?
I guess, but also I'd fucking make
I'd be
my
so
kid
mad.
short. Be like, make him a short little dick. Like, well,
That's
so-
an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Ruin my kid's life now.
You think you're gonna be better than me? No, I don't think so, dude.
You're better than me?
Yeah, are you paying any of the bills? No, you're the fucking little one with the little dick. I'll make sure
I'll
that
let
kid
this TV
never
over
has.
my head.
He'll never have that moment where he beats dad at something. See
You are
later.
genetically predisposed to
Yeah.
lose to me,
But
kid.
Can I get one with spina bifida, please? Fucking, I'll be outside the backyard raining on him.
What is the like evolutionary attraction to light eyes?
I do not.
You
know
were
that.
about to say something like you knew.
No, I was not.
You
I was trying to
don't
fuck
have
with
a
that.
fucking clue. I couldn't tell you. My guess would just be that like colorful things in nature, like peacocks and shit, like you're always just kind of drawn to
Yeah.
color, and this is our version of that.
Yeah, color is healthy. Like
Yeah.
like I don't know. That's I'm always told.
Shit's brown.
My mom is like, have a lot of colors on your plate. Colors on your plate. Like I think there's something that's why they make candy so colorful, because it is again
Pleasing
like
to your
yeah.
brain or whatever.
instinctual that like a primal thing. That stuff's good.
Yeah.
Like you can eat colorful things in the wild.
I would
Like,
almost think it's like the opposite though. There's like poisonous things.
but it's
that,
like I
make
mean,
you-
berries are a bad example, but like peppers, like a lot
of
of
stuff you can
the
eat,
fruits
yeah.
we eat are
Yeah,
colorful,
colorful.
because
Yeah.
we learned that those ones don't have.
But
poison
you know
in
what?
them.
Like so much of that shit is like, I think seeing somebody tan is like physically appealing.
Yeah.
But it used to not be that way.
Right.
Like it was.
Yeah.
It was like you are poor and outside and you're gross. And look at that milky white girl over there.
Yeah.
She's amazing. that does not. You know. I can't imagine that flipping. But it was completely made up.
I'm coming around on pale. I like pale.
I'm coming around on. I don't necessarily like pale, but dude, these like young girls, like you girls, getting like Botox and shit when you don't need it.
Oh, I'm watching
is
Love Island.
Fucking
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like they like. You see these girls who are like in their 20s and they look like they're in their 40s, and it's like because you started fucking with your face when you didn't need to. You were young and pretty.
Yeah.
You, when you're old and you're trying to like hold on to it or get a few more years, fine. But you start fucking with your face when you're like in your early 20s. By the time you're like 28, you look like you're 45. So now you really fucked yourself. That
Yeah.
doctor, you see that doctor who was like, it was on Instagram. He was like looking at the cast of Love Island, being like, I'll tell you how old they are and like what work they got done.
Yeah.
And like how old they do look, and he was like nailing it, you know.
I'll tell you, doctors
Preventative
these days.
Botox and shit like that. It's like,
I have that.
teenagers are like getting Botox injections like it's fucking you're getting your nails done. It's like your face is going to look gross when you're older. And my point being that when like you're tan, it looks nice, but then it goes quick, especially for white people. Like it goes quick.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're wrinkly and you're saggy, and it's like so. I think if you know maybe you don't look like super hot and tan at one age, but as you start to get older, you have like nice skin and you look like healthy. I can get down with that.
Yeah. The fuck, what was I just gonna say? You said something that reminded me of something.
Young girls getting Botox.
No.
Doctors. You said you were going to say something about doctors.
Yeah, but I
These
remember
doctors-
that one. But the doctor, I think doctors should not be allowed to do that. I think doctors doing all this shit these days.
I was gonna say,
What,
I don't think
outing people?
TikTokers. I don't think doctors should be allowed to have TikTok, and if they do, they would have to like send in their PhD and like get it approved.
But even if you
Oh,
have
see-
one, like you don't know. You haven't
Yeah.
fucking you
Yeah,
haven't seen
yeah.
this patient.
Well, I'm sure they play it as like I'm giving my guess.
It's just
or
for
whatever.
entertainment. You shouldn't
Yeah.
be a doctor and get to know
I agree with
entertainment.
that. I agree with that,
Like
yeah.
the
it's-
same way they do in sports when they just have like I torn ACL. Like what are you even talking about? You watched
You're
it with
watching it
me.
on television.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
haven't just fucking seen anything.
Well,
And they're right sometimes, and they're fucking wrong sometimes. Like
same shit with like Jim Kramer
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
financial stuff. It's like you're a TV star now. You haven't been working the fucking markets forever. You know what are you talking about? But I think it's fair if you're like I was a doctor and I'm now like Dr. Phil. I'm now a fucking TV host.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's these people who show up.
But you shouldn't
being
get called
like,
doc- you
I'm
shouldn't
a
get called
practicing doctor right now, and I'm trying to like, get my likes up because you're probably gonna say whatever the fuck it takes to go viral,
Right.
not what's true or whatever.
Like that doctor who said they were the one who gave Matt Rife their chin implant. His
Yeah.
chin implant.
Well,
and then Matt Rife was like, I didn't get one, and I'm gonna like you should lose your license.
Yeah,
You
no,
can't-
that guy should be sued for defamation. He should lose his license. There should absolutely be like well, I guess there isn't there? Like patient doctor confidentiality, where like
that's how you knew that even if he got one, that wasn't his doctor because the
Right.
doctor who fucking did it
you
has
ain't gonna
HIPAA.
say that shit. Yeah,
HIPAA.
yeah, you should not be able to like you shouldn't out anybody on that shit. You know
Right.
what I mean? I guess the flip side is if you get that shit done, you should have to also be upfront about it.
I don't think so.
Because it's portrayed to so many like young people that like this is like you should look like this, and it's like the only reason she looks like that is because she has literally a fake face.
But also, you're
You know?
saying it's not appealing, so who cares how they got it done?
Well,
It's not.
I think that, but a lot of these girls are like, I want my face to look like this. How do I do it? Suck all of the fucking fat out of your skin. Well, when you're like 30, it's gonna be falling off. You're gonna look gross, but in the moment, you just want to look like Bella Hadid. Idiots.
I'm one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like you shouldn't be. You
Do
all
the
that
eyebrow
stuff?
raise?
Don't do it.
Oh, you got kind of. What? It's moving.
Do it again.
Yeah. I don't want to do it again. I haven't had water.
You had like your forehead is. Like,
I know, because I gotta get them because it's like every 3 months, so I have to go back and get it again.
It's
I mean,
3
when I
months.
went,
How they
I was
get
like, fuck me up. Like I was like, give me cheek. I was like, give me cheek implants. Oh, I asked her an eyebrow raise, and she was like, you don't have enough forehead space. She's like, it's gonna go into your hairline.
Right.
I was while we're making fun of your features. I was watching Hacks on the plane, and I didn't watch season 1 in a while, so I was watching season 1, and Gene Smart is always making fun of Hannah Einbender's hands. And there's one part where she picks up a picture, and I was like, oh, like Jackie's hands. And then Gene Smart goes, look at these, they're downright extraterrestrial.
Yeah, you guys are like, don't get work done, and then you guys make fun of my every single picture I fucking have.
Yeah, we all got goofy shit. Make fun of my nose, my fucking hands, my
Right.
feet.
When we were doing Out of Order the other day, I like asked Jackie to do like a confused face, and it was like, take number 5. I was like, all you gotta do is just raise your eyebrows, and you're like, I can't.
And I forgot. I was like, I feel like I'm doing it. And it's like, it's not.
Because it
showing
looked
up.
like you were trying, but nothing
Yeah,
was
I was like-
happening. And it just went over my head. And you couldn't do it.
I didn't even think about
And then I
it.
saw it on camera, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm not making a single expression. Yeah.
Bro, every 3 months you're just getting poison up.
Oh yeah. So I said, I was like, give me what you got, and then the price came out, and it was like
Don't
way,
be this guy.
and I couldn't. So then, but if it hadn't been for that, like I would have come back looking like the Love Island person.
What is like?
You like
what
that?
is the price?
No, like I'm happy that I didn't. What?
Like what is the? I don't even know how much Botox costs.
I would have. Oh, it's like
it's like $100 per unit or something.
20 per unit,
20 per
but then like they do like a bunch of units.
How many like? So like.
I forget. It was like 30 on this side, 30 on this side for. It's for.
I remember
chin or jaw.
I used to I paid like $1,000 when I was doing my armpits.
It all costed me 800.
800.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like crazy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's affordable.
Yeah.
Relatively affordable.
Well, like for a chunk of my like,
yeah.
it's not great, but like, you know.
Do it. Save it for when you're getting ugly. When you're young, you're not getting ugly.
Yeah.
These Love Island freaks are ruining the world. I'm watching now, by the way.
Yeah, it's so.
Are you
good.
watching? Do people watch America though?
No, well, I'm watching UK.
Okay, I started watching USA.
Oh, never mind.
Nobody watches that?
I don't watch
Because
it.
they look like freaks too. All right, that's it. All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Click that button.
Or I'll cut off my finger.